Spider-Man Homecoming is the 2017 superhero film co-produced by Columbia Pictures and Marvel Studios. It was distributed by Sony Pictures and directed by Jon Watts. Now, this is the 16th installment of the MCU and is the second reboot of the character in film. Now, as we continue on our way to Avengers Endgame, it is time for us to review this film. Is it a good film or not so good? And the next couple of minutes, we are going to find out. The good. Tom Holland is a great Spider-Man. Due to his age, he portrays a teenage Peter Parker. Now, this choice of a teenage version of the character is very clever because it pleases older fans, those who grew up reading the Bronze Age of comics, but also those younger fans are very accustomed to the very successful nowadays Ultimate version. And definitely I like that. It was a very clever idea. Tom Holland is a great actor. He has the accent, you know, he changes things around. He has the charisma, he's energetic, he's youthful, and definitely he does the part so well. The cast in this film is kept to a minimum, and this is good. This allows the story to be focused on Peter Parker and his personal dilemmas, his day-to-day challenges as a teenager. And I really love that. Definitely this centralizes the message and makes the movie entertaining, and your attention is focused only on one thing. Peter Parker's best friend Ned, played by Jacob Batalon, is also a delight for me in this film. He is funny, he's quirky, he's nerdy, and I really like him. He's a loyal friend, he has some funny lines, he plays dumb, and I like that. He's definitely like an average friend that you remember growing up in school. One of those loyal friends that maybe not the most popular, but definitely they were there for you, with you, and they back you up all the way. Definitely he plays the part, and I think that was a great choice for this film. Adrian Toomes, the Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, is a relatable villain. He's actually very good in the film. I really like him. He's not a bad man per se. He's just a man that has been corrupted by greed and, you know, selfish ambition. And he is a Spider-Man villain through and through. You know, and that's another aspect of the Spider-Man story, that most of the villains in the comic books, Spider-Man villains, are not evil people. They're evil in their actions, but they're motivated by greed, by a desire of revenge, by personal issues, not necessarily because they want to conquer the world. And he portrays that. He just wants money to feed his family, and he thinks that the world has wronged him to a point that he deserves to get something back from the world. And of course, you know, all this interaction plays well within the film, and definitely I love that. I think he was a counterbalance to the youthful vision of the world from Peter Parker. I think there's a counterbalance there that I really enjoy. Although the movie is part of the MCU, and you get reminded of this at every opportunity, it operates under its own autonomy. Yes, you get to see cameos from Tony Stark, Happy Hogan, Pepper Potts, Captain America, but these cameos are not overwhelming. And I like that because this is all about Peter Parker. This is all about his situation. He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and everything that is happening around him, revolving around him, has to do with his world. And I like that because he centralized the message, he centralized the movie, and it makes it feel like a good standalone movie. The film has a great balance of action, comedy, and teenage drama, and I like that. It is very engaging, very entertaining, and you get to see a lot of Easter eggs as well. For comic book fans, you know, you get to see a lot of images that remind you of even covers, old covers, and I like that because it pleases everyone. Not necessarily it's only directed towards comic book fans. Also, people that are not as familiar with comic books will enjoy, and the whole family. You know, there's some thematic elements here and there, but for the most part, the film is relatively safe for the whole family. The cinematography, the color, the CGI, the music score, they are fantastic. They all work well together, particularly in action scenes. You know, this New York backdrop, it really plays well. You feel engaged. You feel like you are there. And if you're watching this on the big screen or even on a 4K TV, it's definitely a great experience. I really love it. I definitely, in this case, the studio did a phenomenal job. This movie is beautiful and everything shows. There's a lot of attention to detail, and I couldn't ask for more. The bad. Although the movie is a fresh take on the Spider-Man story, it does take some deviations from the source material. You get to see a young version of Aunt May, a socially awkward version of MJ, and a scrawny version of Flash Thompson. Now, for some people, this might not be as offensive or, as difficult to comprehend. In fact, I'm not saying that they did a bad job, because they did a good job. They're good actors and actresses, and they definitely did a fantastic job portraying their characters and following the script. But definitely for longtime fans of Spider-Man, this might be a bit of a different take in it that we're not so accustomed to it. It's just a matter of you kind of getting used to it, and I promise forgiving that and just moving along and just paying attention to the story and not trying to compare this with previous films or even with the comics. But it's different. It throws you off a bit at first, and it takes a little bit of time for you to kind of get used to it, because of course the Peter Parker lore, the Peter Parker story has been told so many different times in different movies, cartoons, and of course in different runs and versions of comics. So of course a lot of people are very familiar with this, and of course it's going to throw you off at first. In trying to keep the movie lighthearted, the script sacrifices some of the elements which made the Spider-Man origin story so great in the first place. There is no mention of how Spider-Man, how Peter Parker obtained his superpowers. There is no mention of, I would say, Uncle Ben, or even the motives or the reasons why he wants to be an Avenger. So definitely that it's like a missed opportunity there. There is an Uncle Ben moment in the film with Tony Stark, but it's not as impactful as in the original story or in previous films. They managed that in a much better light. In conclusion, there is not much to complain about this film. The good outweighs the bad. There are a lot of great lessons for youngsters in regards to sacrifice, selflessness, and self-discipline. And I think, children will love this film because it has the right elements, and it definitely is a safe watch for the whole family. Although the movie lacks the emotional impact of the Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, and even the most recent Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse animated film, it is a better film when you compare it to the angsty Mark Webb's duology, The Amazing Spider-Man. It is a great film. It has all the elements to be great. It is fun, has a lot of replay value, it is lighthearted, so it's not as complicated or as tense or dense as other movies, and I really like that. It's definitely good for the whole family, and I highly recommend it. Now, in giving this movie a score, I would say it is an 8 out of 10. But what is your opinion? Have you watched this film? If you haven't, shame on you. But if you have, what is your opinion? Let me know. I would like to hear it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so you're reminded of the next video. Please follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links are down below. And please consider supporting me financially. You can do that through Patreon, through PayPal, and GoFundMe. Your financial support keeps me in the air, and all the links are down below. So once again, thanks for watching. God bless you, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.